Remember, this entire manga and every manga on this channel is hand-drawn by myself, and now you too can learn exactly how to make your own viral Dragon Ball mangas at www.makemanga.com, where you can learn directly from me. My mangas have got me on TV, on newspapers, and even earned me over $60,000 a month on Patreon alone. And now, you can click the link in the description and pinned comment of this video and do it yourself. You only need to see the website to see just how many thousands of you are taking this opportunity right now. And don't forget also, the next video to this Ultra Vegito series has already been made and is live now on my Patreon right now for over 4,500 of you incredible fans to watch after this. Again, links are in the pinned comment and description. Enjoy.
I won't forgive you for this, and I won't let you hurt these two anymore, Virgil. So our story continues with our hero Son Goku, now in his all-new Archangel form, a partial transformation gained from an unknown source, but mysteriously at the same time that the former Grand Priest would unlock the same. His hair slightly different to any style we've seen before, all white combined with a radiant and glistening silver armor, adorned by his Saiyan glowing symbols to match his Saiyan completed seraphim eyes. And in his arms, the two dead bodies of his youngest son, Goten, and his only newly revived father, Bardock. As now staring coldly at the demonic guard, with a sense of calm unlike any seen before, but with some disappointment in his eyes, he would let out, "You just couldn't help yourself, could you? It wasn't enough to kill them. It wasn't enough to see my reaction the first time. You just had to harm them, even after death. And now you'll see what I'm really capable of. I'm destroying you, Virgil. You and your brother." Grr! Who are you? You cannot be the Son Goku I know! But the still bleeding one-armed Virgil would just be stunned at Goku's new and divine appearance, not able to even believe what he would be seeing, as even on his heavily armored face, a hue of blue would be seen from his inherent fear, adding, "How the hell did you get here so fast? And what is that energy you have? You're mortal. Not an angel, are you?" "I'm afraid he's all Saiyan, just like me." But surprisingly, from behind the demonic guard, another's voice would be heard. "You survived as well? And Dante still isn't here! What is going on?" And as Virgil would scream in frustration, it would be pretty clear to us all now just who it would be that he would be seeing. Typical Kakarot. As standing there with his arms folded and near blemishless as ever, Super Saiyan 3 Devil Vegeta would just smirk away, addressing Goku saying, "I couldn't have my shine for not even 1 hour, could I? You just had to show up and play hero. In a new form at that, too." Before the zoom in on his proud smile, he would add, "But at the very least, I'm happy to see you stop copying me. For once, this actually suits you, Kakarot. A softie like you never did quite suit the demonic thing. Very true, Vegeta. As half listening to the prince and responding, in a strange move, Archangel Goku would then let go of the two deceased bodies of his loved ones, allowing them to float peacefully in the arms of space. Bardock's horrendous ripped-off face still on show. Before, in an unexpected turn of events, energy would suddenly leave Goku's palms. But not just any, but a divine Saiyan energy unlike he had ever showcased before in any of his previous Seraphim forms. The very fibers of the feathers covering his arms glowing in the same hue. Kakarot! What is he doing? There's no way! He couldn't! Stunning the Dark Prince as he could just stare in awe at the divine miracle occurring before him, and one being accomplished by the so-called low-class Saiyan, Kakarot. As soon enough, we would first see Goten's lifeless body become coated in that same Saiyan energy, each individual photon of light seemingly piercing through his body towards every cell. And in the next panel, the same would be said of Bardock also, his head ducked down, saving us the horror of looking at his dismembered face anymore. As Goku, now confidently staring forward with his palm outreached, would confidently call out, "Arise, Goten! Bardock!" And just like that, like a god commanding those even in the grave, the previously dead Saiyans would immediately begin opening their eyes in a daze. And not just that, but with all their injuries healed. Goten's slit neck now patched up, and Bardock's entire face and eyes returned to him, just as it was before, previous scars included. The unthinkable had just been done by the Saiyan Son Goku. What? This cannot be! As now both Vegeta and Virgil alike would be left absolutely flabbergasted, their eyes not even able to believe what miracle had just been performed before them. Not by a dragon, but just by a mortal. As Vegeta in particular would be left frozen, his body just about maintaining itself in the dark expanse of space, as he would mutter, "Kakarot, just what have you become? This is more than surpassing me. Are you even Saiyan anymore? Not even Whis could bring back the dead from the living world. Just what kind of power have you unlocked now?" Dad, is that you? But as Vegeta would be left puzzled and amazed, back with the two revived Saiyans, Goten would immediately call out to his father, and with a smile, Goku would reply, "It is, son. I told you I'd bring you back." Before adding with a zoom in on his face, "I can't believe how hard you fought against these guys. At your age too. You're incredible, Goten. The future is safe, as long as you stay alive, son. You can show me the next time we train. But for now, you need to get out of here. And fast, okay? I'll take him. Don't worry, kid." As just as Goku would say this, from behind, an arm with a gruff voice would grab onto Goku's armored shoulder with complete comfortability. Thanks, Dad. As of course, it would be revealed to be none other than a proud Bardock, the father of Goku, as he would look on at his son and add, "You had no idea where I ended up being taken after I died. I gotta thank you for bringing me back from that hellhole. Goz and Mez, give me a break." As Goku would just respond, "Oh, you met those two? Don't worry, they grow on you after a while. Just make sure not to try and break out through the sky. At least not with your head. Come on, kid. Let's leave your dad to handle this." As taking charge immediately after that little reunion and nostalgia trip, Bardock would take charge of Goten and begin escaping. But just before he would go, with his back turned to Goku and looking back with a smile, "Kakarot, wait." Before now, with a tear running down his face, he would let out, "There's still so much I have to tell you about where you came from, who you are, and about your mother, Gine. I'm glad she's safe in my timeline, but I just know if she could just see you now, like this, she'd never lose her smile again. Come back safe, son." You can count on me. And with that, Goku would be as calm as ever, just giving a thumbs up. His smile, all the assurance anyone would ever need that he would do as he said. And so just like that, without any more worry and finally breathing again, Goten and Bardock would fly away, presumably to where Trunks was. Where do they think they're going? Am I just chopped liver? I don't care how many times he brings you back. You'll still die by our hands! As callously, not being able to control his evil nature, Virgil would actually attempt to then chase after the two Saiyans. You just don't learn, do you? You're worse than Frieza! Water! But of course, with Archangel Goku there, nothing of the sort would happen, as instantly, he would appear straight in front of Virgil in a flash, leaving the demonic guard left short for words with the Saiyan's pure speed. Enough of your high and mighty attitude! You are still just mortal vermin to me! But unwilling to accept at all the change in Goku and the situation, Virgil in rage would pull back his arm to force his way through. But just as he would punch, in that instant, not only would Archangel Goku instantly dodge, but also rise up and counter with his own punch in practically the same instant and frame. As looking down, with a completely devoid of emotion face, he would whisper, "And you're nothing to me now." As instantly comboing into the most violent of uppercuts, still completely emotionless, as if not even trying, Virgil's head would snap straight up, stretching his neck to the point it would be a wonder it didn't rip clean off, as his whole body would straighten up forcibly, like controlled by a puppet master. Of course, sent in the very next panel, flying with speed, straight up, even within the confines of zero gravity space. But not taking eyes off Virgil for a moment, with his completed seraphim eyes, Goku would already begin vanishing, saying, "This is far from over." surprising the mid-flight Virgil as instantly Archangel Goku would now appear right beside him and... Maintaining his stoic composure, Goku would now pull back his left leg and... With a vicious kick, of course, Virgil would be slammed once again right across his body, leaving the one-armed beast to continue his groans and screams within the emptiness of space. But when the scene would then zoom out, that wouldn't be all, as right in the direction of where Virgil would be flying now would be a certain second long-haired Saiyan lying in wait. My, how generous of you, Kakarot, to give me my turn. As standing there still with his arms folded would be Vegeta, grinning away, loving the violence on show by Goku, but of course, ready to provide his very own submission. Big Bang! As immediately knowing his next move and extending out his palm forward, Vegeta would prepare for one of his other signature moves and... Attack! With a furious roar, part powered up by his need to not be shown up by Goku and impress the new Archangel, Vegeta would instantly let loose a huge ball of pure red energy, aimed straight at the flying towards Virgil. What? And in pure disbelief over how overpowered he would be by the two Saiyans, Virgil's eyes would make contact before... With a tremendous scream of terror and pain, his whole face would light up as he would become surrounded, smacked right onto the surface of the Big Bang. Then sent soaring now through space like a rocket ship and distinctly right towards the snow planet the rest of the Z-Fighters and Dante were on. Looking like a shining meteor shooting through the sky as the snow would land, until ultimately crash landing straight onto the surface for a seismic explosion, sending snow and freshly melted water all over. Oh, brother! Is that you? The noise and spectacle immediately being noticed by the second Royal Demonic Guard, as Dante would turn his head rapidly in desperation. Fool! Your opponent is right here, not there! But the second Vegeta, in his Super Saiyan 2 form, would not allow the guard to have any respite, immediately on his way to punish Dante for his negligence. Be gone! I'm done with this! As with a new resurgence of power, Dante would counter unexpectedly with a hard punch right into the prince's gut, winding him instantly. Damn it! Leaving the stunned Vegeta to just groan in pain until... Left alone now in the snow, Dante would immediately escape, shooting off in search of his brother within the wreckage. I gave too much damn power to the other clone! I just can't take this guard's attacks like that! Why the hell is Virgil back here? I need to rejoin with myself! But just as the Super Saiyan 2 Devil Vegeta would think about this, right beside him, Goku and the other Vegeta clone would arrive as if by telepathy. Too much to me, you say? You'd be right about that. I already finished my guard. As smugly smirking away, in a strange scene, Vegeta would gloat even to himself. But meanwhile, back with Dante, the panicked twin guard would be right on his way into the smoke and debris of where his brother lay, landing on his feet with a thud before yelling out, "Virgil! I'm here, brother! Say something! What happened?" But with no sign nor sound from Virgil amongst the smoke, Dante would be no closer. That is until... No! Virgil! With a stunned face, what Dante would see of his brother would leave him shocked beyond belief, as he would then see... And that's a wrap! As suddenly, the scene would shift to Krillin of all people. The Baldy with a big smile, as in his hand, he would grip tightly onto the unsightly skull of a lower demon. As looking out into the distance, he would then call out, "Hey Gohan! I'm thinking we've earned a break. This planet is all clear. I'm thinking soda. You want anything?" And when we would get closer, it would be a roughed up and exhausted Gohan, who we can assume took on most of the work, as covered in scratches and bruises, barely able to even open his eyes. Gohan would respond, "Sure, sounds good, but maybe after another planet or two? We've got to do our part for Dad and the others. I've still got plenty of energy, don't worry." Huh? But with a less than impressed face, almost disgusted even at the idea of saving another planet, the lazy Krillin would just respond, "You're kidding, right? We've been working non-stop for 3 days now. I don't remember the last time we slept. I'm only human, you know." Before coming to a resolution of his own, pointing into the foreground with a smile, Krillin would proclaim, "Listen, I've got a better idea. There's a city nearby. I can sense their energies. I bet they'll be pretty damn welcoming of their heroes. I'll head over and get some grape soda for the two of us. We'll drink those, and then we can move on, okay?" To which Gohan, now in more an agreeable state, would give in, saying, "Alright, I gotta admit, grape soda right about now would really hit the spot. Always was my favorite as a child. Just make sure to be safe out there, Krillin." But as Krillin would then fly off, hearing that last comment, he would turn his head and say, "Stay safe? I will. But remember, kid, it was me who used to look after you back on Namek. Have some faith." Namek. And with that nostalgic line from Krillin, Gohan could not help but look down with a smile, reflecting on the past, as he would think internally, "Those were fun times. Dangerous, but fun. I learned a lot about myself and what I was really capable of back then. Fighting Frieza by myself, Guru unlocking my potential. From that day on, I really should have stuck to my training. If I did, who knows how strong I'd be right now. Maybe I could have saved us all instead of Dad and Vegeta. But at least, I have this new power in me." As suddenly, with a view of his hand, it would be completely electrified in red lightning, as this new power Gohan had been referring to would of course be the seemingly demonic in nature, beyond beast form. Here we go. Civilization. This is kinda like Earth, you know. As back with Krillin, he would finally arrive at the so-called city he had pointed to in the distance, with shops as far as the eye could see and many different aliens walking all around, each muttering something to themselves, going about their daily lives, with one in particular looking straight at Krillin and saying, Where is this child's hair? Well, would you look at that? Think I just found our store, Gohan. As looking over the selection of stores, finally, Krillin would spot a sign that would appeal, as one with an actual drink can and straw would be seen. So with a smile, Krillin would let out, Gosh, it's been so long. Hope grape tastes the same on this planet as it does on Earth. Stepping in casually before entering through 2 large stores. And finally, on reaching the till, a rather large cashier would be waiting for him, complete with a cap hiding his long hair. And so, with blissful ignorance, with his sights clouded by his thirst of sweet drinks, Krillin would lift up 2 fingers and ask, Hey there! Can I get 2 grape sodas? We're the guys who just saved your planet, so I was hoping we could get a little discount.
Here, it's on the house.
As handing over a drink with a distinctly deep voice, a recognizable arm covered in separate eyes would come into view. Gross! What kind of aliens does this planet have? Immediately spooking out the naive Krillin, who of course had never met Lucifer, but in the presence of the former devil himself, even he could sense something was off. Wait! This energy! It's like the others! You're a demon! As finally figuring things out, Krillin would be left shuddering as he would stare closer at the mystery figure in front.
Demon! What an insult, boy!
As shockingly standing there in what looks like a store clerk's uniform would be none other than Lucifer, grinning down at Krillin as if he had just found his next meal. As elsewhere, suddenly from the city where Krillin was, a gigantic explosion would be seen, catching the attention of the still sat down Gohan immediately. Krillin! As immediately the young Saiyan's worst fears and warnings would be realized, as he immediately knows what this could mean. Flying off with urgency straight towards the carnage. Krillin! I told you to be careful! I knew it! I knew I should have gone with you! As gritting his teeth, Gohan wouldn't be able to help blame himself, panicking on his way there, sweating profusely. But at the sight of the explosion, the destruction of the once thriving city would be clear, as only charred black buildings, smoke, and the remnants of a few survivors would remain. But most alarmingly, on the ground, a ripped piece of one inhabitant's clothing, an orange gi with a certain recognizable symbol on the back.
Did you really have to cause such a commotion? I didn't even get to give you that drink you wanted.
As Lucifer, now removing his cap would be seen emerging from within the smoke.
Say something, best friend of Son Goku. I have great plans for you.
As in a horrific scene, the stuff of nightmares, the Omni King Lucif would walk forward with his giant muscular body as the frail and clearly damaged body of a downed Krillin would just tremble before him in his sights. As once we'd get a view on Krillin, indeed, it would be hard to imagine a time he would seem more exhausted, as struggling to get up, he'd mutter, I can't let Gohan come here! This guy, he'll just end up killing him too! I've got to get out of here and lead him away somehow! As Krillin, clearly planning something in his head, would then begin summoning energy within his right hand. Destructo Disc! The culmination being the generation of his legendary attack, as he would then immediately toss the circular blade straight at the now still Omni King.
Interesting technique. I wonder what it can really do.
But smiling away, Lucif would seem more intrigued than concerned. This should do! As in a callous move, using telekinesis alone, he would suddenly bring together two civilians right into the path of the disc and... just like that, the true deadly nature of Krillin's attack would be easy to see, slicing them clean in half like they were butter. No! I didn't mean! Leaving Krillin disgusted at the sight, but even so, with it having cut through, at least it was now about to make contact with Lucif.
Not bad, Krillin. A little too dull to scratch my kind, though.
No! No way! As with Lucif just of course stopping the disc in his hand like catching a plate, Krillin's entire body would just be left quaking in fear, immediately turning tail and beginning to run away as he would yell, "I'm not fighting here anymore, you monster! Follow me!" But all attempts to get away and perhaps not lead Gohan to the same area would end when a familiar foot would land right in front of him. So he's what's caused this. Gohan! As of course, it would be Son Gohan, and with his eyes looking straight forward, he would display none of the fear Krillin had. Krillin, what happened here? Where did this guy come from? Another demon emperor? Gohan! I don't have time to explain! This guy isn't like anyone else we've fought! We have to get back to the ships and... No! Gohan! Run! Huh? Krillin, what are you talking about? But when Krillin would just suddenly freeze with his teeth gritted, the diarrhea of words he just let out would only leave Gohan puzzled. Before... What? In a tragic and beyond violent scene, Krillin's entire body, just like that, would split right down the middle. As what would come also down the middle would ironically be his own Destructo Disc. Krillin! as Gohan, now left to watch as his best friend would be instantly murdered right in his face before he could do anything to stop it, would simply be frozen.
Sorry, I realized you might have wanted this little toy of yours back. Didn't realize you wouldn't catch. Oh well, guess it's just us two then, son of the God Killer.
All while Lucif, without a care, would just joke about. You! But with such a scene, such a rush of emotions, the inevitable would be about to happen to the Saiyan with the greatest potential above all others, as finally, Gohan would snap. And with a sudden explosion of power and aura, unleashing amounts of energy not even Gohan could be aware of, his muscular frame would bulk up instantly, as his eyes would not only go blank, but completely red. Finally, Gohan would be re-entering his alleged demonic state. And for the first time, in front of Lucif himself, who instantly sensing the energy would have the same feeling of curiosity that the Demon Emperor Red did. The question is, just what will Lucif do about it? But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag Gohan in the comments down below and let me know just what fate the Saiyan with the greatest potential will have. Or just find out what happens right now on my Patreon, where you can see the full next video, fully voice acted, soundtracked, and edited for you to enjoy with over 4,500 plus other fans, as well as getting access to 250 plus other fan mangas too. It's the deal of the century.